Como se dice, suck my bow. Because that's what I'm about to say to this motherfucking Camille. Oh. Alright, man. I finally logged into the Darkstar Chogath account. I've been waiting for a opportunity to go Hail Blades, Titanic Hydra, Chogath top. And this guy picked Camille into my Chogath. And then it was a pretty early pick. I don't remember. It's probably been like 12 hours since this game. But then I remember seeing these four champs locked in immediately after that. And I was like, oh, well, that fucking sucks. Because that's a lot of range, a lot of CC, a lot of survivability, and a lot of people that I'm going to have a very tough time getting auto attacks off on. You know, getting a Q, walking up and landing one auto for a heart steal, not insanely difficult. Getting a Q, walking up, landing the silence, and then getting a triple Hail of Blades auto plus a Titanic plus an ulti, it's a little more difficult. And that pretty much is the full combo, which I have a little clip of the full combo as well as, I guess I'll do a clip of the full combo as well as the turret one-shot at some point in the beginning of the video or right now. And that's pretty much the point of the build. I think all full build, we're looking at Heartsteel, Titanic Hydra. I think I want a Frozen Gauntlet this game just to deal with the fact that they have 4 range. So if I hit them, they were slowed, I could keep the momentum going and actually stick to them. Normally I wouldn't go that. And they also had like 3 AD auto attack, AD auto attack based champs. So I don't think Frozen Gauntlet was a bad idea. And once you're absolutely massive on Chogath, the field, I don't know if the field scales off. I think it scales off armor, but I don't know if it scales off of your champ size as well. The zone of the Iceborne Gauntlet is absolutely massive on Chogath. But I need to try another Chogath game top with Grasp and do full HP stack and go for 10k HP. And I want to try with the Unending Despair, because I never knew the AoE on Unending Despair is like old Maokai old, where it's this absolutely massive AoE, and it's every 5 seconds it does a little AoE bomb detonation, and then it'll heal you. And I don't know why I didn't really understand. I've never built it. I didn't really understand how it functioned, and I just didn't think it would be that good. But now that I see it, you can hit, I think you can hit a minion or a champion once, and it starts a 5-second timer. And as long as you're in this massive AoE of enemy champions, and as long as you hit one, it'll reset another timer immediately. So when you're in combat, you don't have to constantly be in combat every second for 5 seconds. It's just once every 5 seconds you need to be in combat. And it's it's absolutely insane. I was like, oh, I didn't know that item was that strong, because the biggest reason why I don't go Warmogs on Chogath is I feel like I'm always fighting. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to be permanently fighting, and then if I ever try to run away, I'm going to be permanently slowed or CC'd. So I feel like the way that I played Cho, I'm either, like, once I go in, I'm there until I die. I'm probably not going to get away from that fight to be able to actually use Warmogs, so it's not that beneficial for me to build it. Now, if I built it like second or third item and used it in laning phase to always be full HP and make it incredibly hard for my opponent to beat me, kind of like a Mundo Warmogs rush, then fine. I think it'd be useful. But post 25 minutes, I just don't feel like I benefit from Warmogs as much as I would in this game, Iceborne, or in the future, Unending Despair, because that is a combat Warmogs, basically. Because I was in training mode, and I was AoE healing off 3 or 4 bots, like 1100 every 5 seconds, which is absolutely freaking insane. So to me, I don't need to go Warmogs if I have a 1k HP 5-second combat heal. I just think it's incredibly better. Plus, you he also heals off the wave, so it's not a lot, but I think that reduces the value of Warmog's early for laning phase because he just heals off the minion wave. And I also, with Red Tree, I go heal from dealing damage to an enemy champion. So that, you know, killing the minions, killing a champion, or I think it's dealing damage to a champion. I don't think it's killing. Taste of Blood pretty much gives me a pretty high amount of sustain with Doran Shield to where I don't even think Warmogs is necessary at all on this champion. I think you would only go Warmogs if you're playing against a range top, and that's probably if you're playing against a range top and you can't land your Q. Like maybe they have like a dash or some sort of mobility, or even if you do land your Q, then they have their dash, like Corki or Vayne. Like you might hit the Q and then she'll tumble away or condemn you, so you'll like never actually get to hit her. I wouldn't go Grasp, you'll never get to proc it. Maybe Phase Rush, or I don't know. I still think Halo Blades is better. If you land the Q, you could just flash on them. Halo Blades 3 auto R, and they're pretty much just dead. So I really like the build that I go, but I want to try it again with Unending Despair against preferably a melee support top and jungle, and then maybe have like a ranged mid ADC, and then I think I'd be a million times stronger. Because this game against 4 range champs and a Camille, there was just so much mobility, so much range, so much distance I had to cover that I really honestly think I didn't get to. I didn't get the full experience of what like a super giga-fed Chogath could do. Even though I got pretty close to, I got like 9800 HP and I don't know, I think over 500 AD. It was right at the end of the game. So I think, you know, if there's a game where I can potentially get that at an earlier stage against 2 or 3 melee champions, stack Heartsteel way more than I did that game. Even though I had 1,000 Heartsteel stacks, which is also really good. I just think if I'm playing against a tank or a bruiser, top jungle support tank, all melee, I think I can probably get over 1,000 Heartsteel stacks. And Unending Despair just give me so much combat healing. Obviously, the targets being triple melee means it's going to be a lot easier to keep those Unending Despair procs going because you're probably going to have one person in that radius. Whereas if you're playing against 4 range champs and 1 melee, and the melee's dead or split pushing, you know, the chance of you actually proccing that Unending Despair on one person is relatively low because everybody's at the edge of the radius. So not really an ideal game, but obviously everything went pretty freaking well considering we're here on YouTube for a reason. Yeah, we are the nightmare monstrosity raid boss Chogath by the end of this game. I don't know if Titanic Hydra shows. I don't know if Hydra shows at the end of the game how much damage it does to champions. I feel like it was another instance of Titanic probably not being the most ideal, just because of the fact that they were 4 range. So I wouldn't recommend a Halo Blades Titanic build when they have 4 range champs. I just did it because I don't know, I just had a feeling I'd be able to make it work. And the combo is pretty quick. I mean, if you land that Q, you walk up, you W, they can't flash away. You literally just Halo Blades, E, auto R. I mean, the combo's coming out before they can really dodge or do anything about it. So I don't think it's necessarily bad against range champs. It's just a lot harder to get that off. So we go in on the Morgana Camille. I think I probably should have went for the Camille first and then the Morgana. I think the reason why I went for the Morgana in the game is Camille at this point had died like 3 or 4 times, so I just assumed that the Morgana was going to be worth more gold, but I think Camille got KP on Fiddlesticks before I got there, and so therefore her gold was reset to 300, so I should have just killed her and not risked letting her get away. Obviously, her E is going to get her a lot farther than Morgana. Now, if Morgana spell shields and, you know, Qs me and spell shields and walks away, then yeah, she's going. But at that current point in time, we had all of her abilities down, and Camille had an E coming up, and she almost got it. I landed the Q, and then Akali finished the kill, but if I miss that Q, or if I don't have it, Camille's getting out in that fight. So I almost griefed that fight pretty bad. But at the time, I just thought Morg was worth full gold value, and Camille wasn't. I'm trying to save mana for a panic Q here. Then I realized she can't kill me. I was surprised she didn't just try to tower dive me. I mean, at that point, as invested as you are, you may as well. We're going back here. I think we are sitting on a complete Heartsteel. I bought it a little bit late. Obviously, we're at 1,600 gold, and I only needed 900 to finish it. I am an advocate for Heartsteel Roa. As soon as you complete those items, as soon as you have the gold to complete those items, recall no matter what you're doing. Just fucking recall and go get them started. Because, you know, I could have been in the lane. I could have been on the map for 2 or 3 more minutes, going from 900 to 1,600 gold, and that 2 or 3 minutes could have been an extra 5 to 10 stacks, which, you know, I look at the late game, that's probably the difference of me getting 10k HP or not. Right here, I don't know why this Akali is trying, like the Camille's 2 and 4. I have 10 minions under my tower, including a candy minion. The last thing I'm worried about is a 2 and 4 Camille. I am not gonna leave this 20 stack minion wave. Junglers do the same shit. Like, brother, I don't care if it's a free kill. You shouldn't have came up. If you're not gonna go for the kill solo, don't come up. I don't need your help. She's 2 and 4. She's worth less than 300 gold. Probably. I literally don't care. Meanwhile, my wave is worth gold and XP, which is infinitely more valuable. I have no interest in trying to go for a kill that isn't even guaranteed. I almost griefed this one here. I think I'm waiting for another Hail of Blades. I think I try to Q myself. No, we just Q her in the wave. Camille, not the greatest pick for fighting Hail of Blades Chogath. Not a lot of melee champions. Probably a good idea to fight Chogath. I think maybe like a 3-item Garen, 2-item Garen, maybe Stridebreaker PD, and then a 1 or 2-item Darius. Probably a couple people you don't want to fight. Other than that, kind of dominate top lane. I don't remember if I played this against a Mordekaiser or not yet. I hate playing against Mord. I don't know if it'd be too good against Mord. I think he would just be able to go Leandries and Rylai's and just shit on you. That's probably a lane where you would want to rush Warmogs and then ult the cannons to get your HP stacked. And then you would have Warmogs popping. And then you could just try and trade with, like, small trade with them. And I think he'd be okay, but he would definitely kill you in an all-in. Rotate it top side, catch this wave. I think Camille or somebody ends up going for Fiddle here. I don't remember 100%. I'm just worried about getting my gold, my XP. I want to stay ahead in levels. More levels I got, more gold I got. More HP I get, more AD I get. And the more fun we get to have. Honestly, I wonder how a Riftmaker would fit into this build. If we went Heartsteel, Titanic, Riftmaker, maybe Hullbreaker. If not a Hullbreaker, probably Unending Despair. And then, I don't know, whatever else you need situationally. Make a TP play on the bot lane. Get a couple Heartsteel procs. We're gonna pinch this Morgana in. Pure kill on her. She's throwing a Q like a freaking psychopath. Land that kill on her. Go ahead and exit out. Look for the Graves on the blue buff. But he's not really wanting to fuck with us. Go ahead and recall and get back top side as we lose the Lux to the Jinx are across the planet. Kind of wish I would have blocked that. Also probably could have stayed in that bush and waited for Jinx to walk back up. But it's alright. Sometimes in these lower elo games, I mean, most of the players in here are gold plat, but a lot of times in these lower elo games where it's actually going pretty well for me, I'm farmed up, I'm fed, we're not getting completely clapped, like I'm not 1v9. Sometimes I'll try to let these games drag out just so I can get to the, point of the video or whatever it is I'm trying to do. As I missed my fucking R here, I was so tilted about that. You see the damage right then and there of just how absurd the damage is on a full combo from Heartsteel Titanic Chogath. It's freaking insane. As I almost completely one-shot a Camille.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
I should have went early. A lot of times people will sit in that bush and they'll wait to see if you show up, and then when the wave crashes they'll come out. So what I'll do is I'll hesitate to see if I catch them like alt tabbed or anything and then go. But in lower elo they just recall there, they don't think about anything, they just get in the bush and immediately channel their recall. So you gotta kind of go pretty quick. But above Emerald, you can hesitate right on the other side of that Fog of War. If it's not warded, you'll most of the time you'll get a kill. Below Emerald, you're probably gonna you're probably better off just walking straight for it. Right here, I really felt the lack of Merc treads as I got CC'd for 5 seconds, and you can see I think I sold my boots. I was a little tilted. I sold my boots and was like, what the fuck? 5 seconds of CC? That's gonna be fun. And I was thinking like maybe I should go Swifties. I think I ended up selling the Merc treads for... I honestly, I think I ended up selling them for Zephyr boots because I just wanted move speed so bad. Or Berserks into Zephyr for the move speed on attack. All things said and done, I probably should have just went ahead and went Swifties. Cruising back up the top side. I wanted to go catch mid and clear it, but I felt like when I looked at the map, the wave was bigger top than mid. So I just went ahead and went top. I also figured I could get a Heartsteel proc on her a lot easier than Aurora. As you again see the damage as soon as the Hail Blades comes out, it's a little concerning. The Hail Blades timed with your E with a Titanic somewhere in there is with a Heartsteel proc. It's some fucking solid damage, dude. It is a very chunky combo, and it feels so good to hit it. Move it in for the enemy red buff here. We're gonna take this, heal up, have a little bit extra two damage on our autos. Waiting for my caffeine to kick in here. Now right here, I really wanted to go get involved in that fight with TP. But I felt like so a lot of times, like I was starting to say earlier, if I go to help, like if I get too far ahead and I'm not 1v9 or, the game is going well, I think it's pretty much guaranteed that we're going to win. I will try to intentionally drag the game out by underperforming. As much as I can. I'm a very competitive player, so if that team fight would have been on red or Baron, I would have went to it. But I guess the way that I would put it is, if I'm not being forced to 1v9 and the game feels super winnable and I'm very strong, I play very lazy. So it's like, if it's right in front of me, I'm going to take it. Like flashing on this and going for this combo and just chaining this like 1-by-1 fight and just kind of staying in it. If it's right in front of me, I'm going to play for it. And, you know, sometimes that goes, you know, I was a second away from killing that Camille and then probably would have died to the Aurora, but still a 1v4 kill 3, that's pretty solid. I'm not going to say that's underperforming, but I could have TP'd to that dragon fight, helped the team, but I've had so many games where the game is going perfect, I'm getting super fed, I'm on pace for like a really good YouTube video, and then I pop off in one team fight, and the enemy team is... I pop off in one team fight, and the enemy's just like, oh no, GG, we can't win. It's like it finally hits them that the game's over, and they'll just surrender. So I try to almost bait the enemy team into staying as long as possible, and hoping that at least one or two players on the enemy team thinks it's somehow winnable. So even though I'm 11-3 and scaling out of this world on Chogath, and I'm an absolute monstrosity, and I'm not even close to how strong I'm going to be, you can see the score is 19-15, and the enemy team probably thinks, oh, we can definitely win this. So I am doing a pretty good job this game, keeping everybody interested. You see the massive AoE from the Iceborne Gauntlet there, taking up like 80% of the width of the lane. All I'm trying to do here is basically just rotate wave to wave, turret to turret, clear jungle camps in between, you know, catch random champions that are walking in between. Like I'm eyeballing this Morgana. You'll see me sit in this bush, and I'm just waiting to see if she'll walk into me, so I could look for at least a Heartsteel proc. That's kind of all I'm hoping for. I don't really care if I kill him or not. I'm just trying to farm Heartsteels. Lux manages to snipe the Jinx, get that kill from me, but with our E, we slow him down too much. For E, Iceborne slows him down way too much. And I thought they were going to FF right here. I was a little tilted that Lux got that kill that fast. I was like, oh fuck, they're going to FF. Fortunately, they did not. This game ended up going, I think, about another 10 minutes longer, and it's probably fortunately thanks to, I believe, the Varus, maybe the Akali as well. As you can see, the Varus is just kind of not having a good time. And I wanted to demo buy the Overlords here just to see how much AD I got, and I went from 193 to like 320. So that gave me about 130 AD, freaking insane. And then I'm testing Warmogs to see, like, kind of deciding, do I want to go one or the other or both, and what order. And this actually would have probably been the perfect game to go Unending Despair, because so many of these fights, I did not realize the radius of Despair. I didn't realize how huge it is. So many of these fights, I would have been in range for like 3 or 4 or even 5 Despair procs, and would have healed like 1,000 to 1,500 HP every 5 seconds for a whole fight and been completely unkillable. I just didn't realize the item was that good. I'm going to be honest, I figured the range would be like a Sunfire radius, where if you're not basically melee range, it's not going to hit somebody. Right here, I'm hoping Graves will come look for this blue buff. I don't think he ends up coming over. I think we take it and we end up going top side, or bot tower. Oh, that's right. I think Akali TP's mid, chases him off towards Baron side. So I just take the blue buff, rotate to the bot wave, see if somebody comes over to push that. And I think the Aurora walks right up to us. I think I miss a Q on her or something. We see Morgana Camille top. I know I'm probably going to have 2 or 3 waiting for me on this tower. The damage is so disgusting. I'm just going for Heartsteel procs here. Missed a lot of Qs. You know, if I hit all those Qs, they're all dead, but it's not the end of the world. If I hit all those Qs, they lose the inhib. They might die opposite side of the map and probably just FF the game. So I was trying to hit them. I'm not gonna high road and pretend like I was missing on purpose. No, I was trying to hit the Qs. I was trying to kill them. Just missed a couple predictions and missed some skill shots, and I think it was a good thing that I ended up missing, because if I hit those, if I 1v3 triple kill, took their inhib right there, and they lost to 1 or 2 on the other side of the map, I'm pretty sure they would have FF'd.
Knowledge is power. Try reading book.
So I was definitely trying to kill them, but I was happy I did not. Then about 600 almost Heartsteel stacks, 25 minutes. I don't think that's too bad. I am currently about the same size as a tower, which is fucking awesome. I don't play a lot of Chogath, so... Now this part kind of pissed me off. I thought they were all fighting around Baron. So I TP'd for the tower and the inhib, and then I got collapsed on like way faster than I expected to. I had a Jinx Graves behind me, I think a Morgana Aurora or something from the other direction, and I just got collapsed on. I didn't really expect to, but... Right here again, just looking for you can see the Heartsteel E damage, dude. Oh man, and the crazy part is I'm on 283 AD. I've got another almost 2,000 HP and another 200 AD coming out of this build. Just, you can just imagine the one-shot potential on it's just crazy in my mind to think that a 10,000 HP Chogath can one-shot you maybe a second after Q. If I hit Q on you and I walk up and W and E, the reality is I need about a second and a half, and I can one-shot 90% of the champs in the game with 10k HP. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And then if I stack 5 Hullbreaker stacks, as you guys saw earlier with the little turret clip, if you stack 5 Hullbreaker stacks on a minion wave, wait for your demolish. If you're at about 1,000 Heartsteel stacks, 9 to 10k HP, wait for your fifth Hullbreaker. Sorry, I said Heartsteel. Wait for your 5th Hullbreaker auto. You stack that on the minion wave. Then you pop your E, Titanic Hydra, the 5th Hullbreaker auto, and demolish all at the same time. You do like 3,200 damage to a tower, and it just completely one-shots the tower. You don't have to do it that way. Obviously, you could hit the 5th Hullbreaker auto, then the Titanic, then the E, and then the demolish or whatever, and you'll still do the same amount of damage. Probably, obviously, you'll do more, but it doesn't look as cool as just setting it up perfectly to get that 5th auto with the Titanic and the E. If you get an opportunity to do it, it's demoralizing. It's kind of like watching a 1k stack Nasus with AD hit a tower. I didn't really do it too much this game. As we see there, that was a regular auto, I think, not even a Titanic Hydra proc. 1983, basically a 2,000 damage demolish proc on the tower. What I could have done was Titanic autoed, and it would have just one-shot the tower. Right here we start cooking. And I am going for the inhibs. I want the stats. I want the Hullbreaker stats. Now this would be an instance where it would have been nice to heal up with Warmogs. But you could also argue that if I had to spare that team fight, I probably would have healed enough. And I didn't realize my HP right there. I was just too focused on trying to get Heartsteel stacks. But if I had to spare instead of Iceborne, I would have probably healed enough off the Camille Morgana fight to survive that and probably kill the Graves. Or you could just go Warmogs. I mean, to each their own. This is just, I think the Iceborne was situational. I think replace Iceborne with Despair. That's probably my go-to Chogath build. And even more, honestly, if they have like Kog'Maw or Vayne or something that's like percent HP shred, I probably am even more likely to go this build. Because although it's 10k HP, I am not building like straight HP items. So the Unending Despair is giving me 8 combat HP. Hullbreaker's like a AD kind of turret shred. Titanic's an AD HP item. Blood Mail's obviously AD HP. So the fact that I was sitting on 500 AD as well as having 10,000 HP in most games that go past 30-35 minutes is pretty nutty. I mean, even if you're against a Kog'Maw Vayne, it's going to take a while for them to kill you. And if you get to them, if you hit them, if you touch them with a Q or anything, you're just going to one-shot them. 500 AD is just too much damage. And you pretty much know where this is going. We wrap up the rest of the game here. Trying to get as many kills as we can before we get out. I think Lux hits a nice little snare here or something, and I end up going in off of it. Oh, ZR. Dude, the damage is just so insane. One of the most fun games I actually didn't really expect a whole lot out of it, so I didn't record my mic. But one of the most fun games I've had in a while, actually. Highly recommend taking this build top lane. Just play slow, play to scale. Try to go for your trade windows with Hail Blades. You're a lot stronger than if you have Grasp. And just wait for the right matchup, the right enemy team comp. Again, if you get this against like a Nautilus or a Braum or some sort of melee support, a melee like tank jungler like Sejuani or something, and then obviously a melee top lane, you can probably get even more Heartsteel stacks than I did. Because I was against 4 range champs. So, and I don't think you'd have a problem getting 10k or more, probably like 13, 14k HP. And if you do that, you're going to be sitting at like 600 to 650 AD probably, or at like 570 to 620 AD. And the one shots just obviously be even stronger. So super fun build. You try it, let me know how it goes. But pretty globally dominant performance. More importantly, like I said, just one of the most fun games I've had in a long time. Pretty fun playing Cho. I always like playing Cho. He's a really fun champ.